Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your 38th favorite dad in the family community, Papa West, Jacob West, here to talk about some things that are happening in the world of TMG trivia. This video is Papa's branches of trivia. Papa's branches are singles and teams because, of course, we also have Geek, and I don't run TM Geek, so I can't make announcements about that because Kevin will message me and be like, hey, I didn't okay that. You can't say that. Okay. So TM Geek announcement. I'm the new champion. No? Oh. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. I'll give that to myself. I'll give that to myself. So I have a couple things I do want to talk about. Of course, if you are watching, comment with questions, concerns, questions, all in. Questions, concerns, and questions. I will address them and answer them as I go. First off, I do want to say we are in the middle of the TMG singles tournament, and this thing has been going on for a lot longer than I anticipated it to. I have not been making the ground that I thought I would be making, and I just want to apologize for that. Let me see. So far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done 6 matches. The first round is 16, so I'm not even halfway done with the first round, and it's taken like 4 months to get there. That is 100% on me. Real life happens, and you get. I'm trying to think of the best word for it. Preoccupied with other things. That's a good word for it. But I will say, hey, I'm working on it. We just did a match tonight. I saw Jake Tato taking on Ryan Permison. Can't wait for y'all to watch that one. Then there's also me versus Richie Goodacre, which I will actually have live tonight. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and get that one out. The Jake Ryan match will get out next week, and then I'm gonna try to get the next one out the week after, and just try to get the ball rolling on that, and try to get them out a lot more frequently than I have been. Yeah, you get preoccupied with things, and you let things take a backseat, like they shouldn't necessarily, especially for as long as they have. Next thing I want to talk about, we did a TMG trivia fantasy football league. I want to say there were 10 people in it. Like 3-4 weeks I made before the NFL season started. I did a call out. It was open to everybody. Had some people sign up. Yeah, there were 10 people in it. And I don't know about you, I always have fun with fantasy football. We did have a pretty competitive year this year. Me personally, I got third, which is always good to make the final playoffs. Because with this we had 4 in the championship round of the playoffs, which then turned to 1. But it was open to everybody. The first 9 people that commented got thrown into it. 9, of course, because I have to be in it if I'm creating it, because they don't let you create a league and run the league without actually participating in the league. But I did just announce earlier today on the actual Facebook page, Stephen Boyd. He is a member of the BS Bros, and we've seen him compete in singles on his own. Stephen Boyd came out victorious in it. Fun fact, he actually beat his brother in the championship game. Let me see. He won 264 to 211, and that's a 2-week spread. And he was 10-4 the entire year, which actually had him tied with 3 other people for the best record for that. His brother Bruce was also 10-4, and then Robert Kastner was the third person who was 10-4. So they were the 3 people tied. I finished 8-6, but I beat Robert Kastner in the third, fourth place game, so I technically got third because of that. And then, of course, we have Alec Miller, who was 1-13. So everyone ridicule him because he is not good at fantasy football. Kidding. If you want to ridicule him, you can. I will. You shouldn't, though. You shouldn't. But for winning the league, the fantasy football league, I messaged everyone saying this was what was in store for the winner. The winner was going to get a number one contenders match in any of the leagues that I run / co-run, singles, teams. That's also sports brawl, our sports debate league. Yes, I'm the champion in it, so I am help out with running it. I did just message Steven today, and what I did, because we're still kind of new, most competitors in singles have had one match. Because we're in the middle of a tournament, there are some people who have had two. I've had three, and Hunter Chambliss has had three. I think he's had three. Or he might have only had two. Like most everyone else has only had one. So we don't have, most people will do, here's the top 10, pick one of the 10, and you're good to go. But we don't really have a top 10 in singles. Teams, we're kind of there, but nowhere near there. And then with Sports Brawl, because yes, Malcolm, sports debates is still a thing. We have like 8 competitors, so there's no top 10 list there. I'm like, so I told Steven, tell me what league you are wanting to be in, wanting that shot in, and I'll message you the roster. I will have restrictions, and then we'll go from there. The only restriction, Sports Brawl, you can't take me on. That would have been the only thing. The other two, you can't take on the champion, because why would you take on the champion in a number one contenders match? That does not make sense. For singles, because we're in the middle of a tournament, I would have restricted him from taking on anyone who has won their round one match so far. So Chad Webb, James Puckett, David Garcia, and Hunter Chambliss are the ones who those matches have dropped. And then I would have told him the 2 other matches. He couldn't have taken those players on. He could have taken anybody else, whether they were in the tournament or not. What I would have done is if they were in the tournament, I would have given them the option of they can take the number one contenders match or not. If they take it, if they lose, they're still in the tournament. If they win, then they won't be in the tournament anymore. That would have taken them out of the tournament, but you're getting a number one contenders match. I would have given them the option, whether they chose to do that or not. And so that was my restriction on there. Anyone who's not in the tournament, they would have been fair game. And then with teams, again, same. Everyone on the roster except for our champions, the Detonators. And then there is, I'm in the process of doing a number one contender match between 3 teams, the Midwest Saints, RATG, and Fried Gold. Those 3 teams would not be eligible for this automatic number one contenders match because they're already in a number one contenders match. But because we're not in a tournament right now, everybody else was legal. Steven got back with me, and I also gave him the option. If you do not want this number one contender shot, you can gift it to anybody. And he did the best thing any brother would do. He gave it to himself and his brother, Bruce Boyd, for a team's number one contenders match. I'm not going to tell you who he's taking on, who he chose to take on. I will just say it is a pretty good team. It's a team I'm always excited to watch when they play. That's all I'll say. But that green room has been made, so that match will be coming out relatively soon. And then, of course, whoever wins that will take on our champions in teams, the Detonators, which is Brandon Dunlap and Dave Lees. two competitors who have not played in a teams match in almost 2 years. Yeah, because they were champions before I took over, and since I've taken over, I haven't had a championship match yet, but I'm working on it. Hopefully they'll have two relatively soon if they win this one. But that is a discussion for a later day. I know what you're thinking. Papa, I'm ready to have my mind blown. What is this amazing announcement that's going to change my perspective on trivia? Well, I don't know about you, but this is going to blow my mind. So, as most of y'all know, when TMG Trivia became a thing, I was the team's commissioner. I only ran teams. That was the only thing I was doing. Other people were worrying about singles, but shortly after quit. And so most people don't really have teammates, and so they want singles. So I took up the mantle and decided to not only do teams, but also do singles. It was the worst time to take a drink, but who cares? Not me. Since then, I've had singles and teams running off of two different rules, or two different formats, kind of, which doesn't really make much sense. All the rounds are the same, but in singles, round number 1, you get 10 questions. Teams, you get 8. Round 2, singles, you get 5. Teams, you get 4. Everything else is the same, but it's a little weird having 10 here and 8 here. I always said teams was 8 because I didn't want to write 10 questions. And it was 4 because I didn't want to write a 5th question. But singles, they had already said 10 in 5. And so I was stuck with that. Starting today, singles is going to stay exactly the same. You're going to get 10 questions in round number 2. In round number 1, you're going to get 5 questions in round number 2. 10 in round 1, 5 in round 2. I think I said that correctly. Teams is going to change up a little bit. It's going to be exactly the same as singles. 10 questions in round number 1, 5 questions in round number 2. So I don't have to be like, which match is this, singles or teams? I don't remember. But hey, now I don't have to remember. It's all going to be the same. So there you go. You're welcome, Jacob, for making it easier on yourself. And I guess it's going to be easier for y'all too. So I'll say that at least. That's like the really big announcement. The other thing is, all number 1 contenders matches and championship matches are going to be 5 rounds. Until today, I had no idea what the extra 2 rounds are going to be. Of course, main rounds are going to be the 3. You have your round number 1, the whiteboard round, the wheel round, and then you pick your number round. Number 1 contender matches, they're going to have the same 3 rounds, and then we just have to add 2. So round number 1 is exactly the same. It is the whiteboard round. Round number 2 is the wheel round. Round number 5, the final round, is going to be the round number 3. Round number 5 will be you pick 3 numbers, 1 through 15, so on and so forth. So that leaves us round number 3 and round number 4. I need some way to have 2 rounds that make sense, because that's the tricky part. A way to be able to score points quickly, score quite a bit of points, but have it to where there will still be an exciting matchup in round number 5. And I think I did that. So the new are in championship and number 1 contender matches. Round number 3 is going to be the IMDb round. What that is There will be 3 questions in this round. There'll be a 2-point question, a 3-point question, and a 5-point question. For singles, of course, you're by yourself. You're getting all 3 questions. Teams is going to be just like round number 5. One competitor will answer the 2 points. One competitor will answer the 3 points, and then you confer on the 5. So the way it'll work, the 2-point question, competitors will be given a year and a genre, and then they will decide based off of that who's going to answer that question and who's going to answer the 3-point question. I'm not going to tell you what your year and genre are for your 3-point question. You just get the year and genre for the 2-point question. Competitors will decide who's going to answer it. After I have a competitor who says that they will answer it, I will repeat the year and the genre, but I will also give them the top 3 build actors in the movie. So for instance, because I did test this out with Henry Sanchez, with something for him, and this is kind of what gave me the idea. So for an example, I will say for this specific match, your year is 2000, your genres are musical and comedy. The BS Bros are going to be in a number 1 contenders match, so Bruce and Steven are going to talk to each other, and they're going to decide, hey, who's going to take it? Steven's going to take it. Sweet. Steven, your year is 2000, your genres are musical and comedy. Now I'm going to give you your top 3 build actors. It's George Clooney, John Turturro, and Tim Blake Nelson. Somebody in the comments tell me what movie that is. I have to give you like 15 seconds though to actually name the movie. So Steven's going to think to himself, what is a musical comedy that came out in the year 2000 that has George Clooney, John Turturro, and Tim Blake Nelson? I don't think I've given you enough time yet, because those delays are a little bit weird. But Malcolm got it right. Oh, brother, where art thou? So Steven says, oh, brother, where art thou? BS Bros get 2 points. The 3-point question has to go to Bruce now. So Bruce will get his year and his genre, and then he will get to pick 2 out of the 3. He will either get the top build, the director, or he'll get a hint. The top build is literally, I'm going to go on IMDb or Google it, and it's going to be the first person who pops up. The director is, of course, the person who is credited with directing the film. In the off chance it's a movie where there are multiple directors, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I will just do 1. So you won't get both directors, you'll just get the 1. I'll also make sure that one, unless it's like the Wachowskis or the Coen brothers, if it's like brothers or siblings, or they're always referred to as the blank, the Coen brothers, then I will say your director is the Coen brothers. I won't say Joel Coen or whatever the other brother's name is. But for instance, Captain Marvel has 2 directors, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. I'm gonna do my dead level best to make sure that round 3 or the 3-point question only has 1 director. In the out chance I miss it, I'll just have 1 director on there. And then as far as the hint goes, the hint can be just about anything. It can be like a plot point, it can be a location, it can be like a species. So, for instance, the 3-point question, the year is 2004, the genre is sci-fi, action, horror. And then, of course, your genres will be however many are listed. I'll do 2 or 3. Generally, you don't have 4 listed. And I'll try to have multiple genres listed on there too. So sci-fi, action, and horror. You'd get to pick top build and director. So the top build will be Sanaa Lathan, and your director is Paul W.S. Anderson. And then this is Bruce's question, so he's going to go and think, what is the answer to this question? And then he will realize, man, I should have gotten that hint. I can't give him that hint because you get 2 of the 3. However, for you at home, I will give you the hint. Had you have asked for the hint, it would have been extraterrestrials. So, you know the movie E.T.? It stands for extraterrestrial. So your hint is the exact same thing, but there's an S because it's plural. So if you want to answer that at home, go ahead and answer it. I will wait just a little bit to see if anybody answers it. Again, I do have to wait a little bit because there is a time delay. But your year is 2004. Your genre is sci-fi, action, and horror. Your top build is Sanaa Lathan. Your director is Paul W.S. Anderson. And your hint is extraterrestrials. The movie we are looking for. Malcolm actually got it wrong. It's not Resident Evil. We are looking for Alien versus Predator. Mila Jovovich is the top build in Resident Evil. Everything else kind of would have worked. Extraterrestrials, no. For that, for your hint, I'd have probably gone zombies. That's the easy one. I might have gone with red dress. That would be another good hint, I would think. Memory loss, T virus. That hint can be just about anything. I'm trying not to make it too terribly obvious. So, your 4-point question. Hey, Malcolm, shut up. Terrible Paul W.S. Anderson movie. I actually like Alien vs. Predator. I've said it before. I am an Alien Predator fan. 4-point question. Your year is 1971. Your genres are crime, drama, and thriller. Of course, you're always going to get those. The main difference with your 5-point question, I'm not going to give you top build, director, or a hint. I'm not going to give you an option of those 3. I'm going to go with plot keywords. So in this instance, your year is 1971. Your genres are crime, drama, and thriller. In your plot keywords, I'll generally have like 4 or 5 words or phrases. Great Britain, home invasion, sexual assault, and American abroad. So this is kind of a trickier one. Again, this is the 5-point question, so it is supposed to make you think. But yeah, Great Britain, home invasion, sexual assault, and American abroad. Malcolm going with the French Connection. Very close. In fact, I'll tell you why you're very close. We were looking for straw dogs. Straw dogs. The reason, Malcolm, you're actually very close is because when I tested this, the other set, because there will be 2 sets of questions. The other set, 1971, action, crime, drama, so pretty much the exact same genre. New York City, Triggerman, drug smuggling, car chase. That is the French Connection. With these 2, there'll be 2 sets. I will have them color-coded, so almost always it'll be red and blue, because my high school's colors were red and blue. They still are, but they're not my high school anymore. They were red and blue, plus they're really good colors. I'm wearing a blue shirt, so I'm a little partial to the color, I guess. I'll probably change it up to like purple and green sometime. Chartreuse. and magenta. Regardless, you'll have two different options. Whoever is in the lead will get the pick first. Will get to pick which one of the two that they want, and then whoever's losing will get their questions first. Will be the format of that. And then hopefully that's usually how people do the IMDb round. I try to keep everything similar to other leagues because I don't want to be confusing. Some leagues want to do their own thing, which is great. I do not hate anyone for doing that. I do not say you're bad for doing that. Hey, I'm trying not to be confusing. I understand that there are some people who, being as different as they are, can kind of confuse some people. Or they kind of scare people off. I don't want to do that. I want to try to be easy to understand. To have as many people here as we can get. To make sure people have fun. Like if you don't know the rules, you're not gonna have fun. So I'm trying to make the rules pretty well known. That is round number 3. Round number 4 is going to be the betting round. This is going to be different based on what league it is in. So the betting round, teams matches will have 10 questions. Singles matches will have 5 questions. I'm going to go over the teams format because this does change up a little bit. And then I'll discuss singles. So this is teams first. All competitors will be given 10 questions of 10 random categories. Teams will pick one person to answer each question, but each teammate must answer 5 questions. Each question we will go over who is answering it. So, for instance, teammate number 1, Steven and Bruce, I'm going to use them as an example. Steven can answer question 1, 2, 3, and 4 in a row if they want that to be the case. However, he's only allowed to answer one more question. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Bruce has to answer the last 5 questions. So you'll go back and forth, figure out who wants to answer it. But just so you're aware, if you answer as soon as you answer 5 questions, the rest of this round, your teammate is answering the rest of them. So if you want to go, Bruce answers question 1, Steven answers question 2, and then go back and forth like that. You can do that, or if you want one person to answer 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10 is the other one. Do whatever you do. But it adds some strategy to it, which is one reason why I'm doing it this way. Competitors will choose to bet between 0 to 2 points. Yes, you can bet 0 points if you want to, or you can bet 1, or you can bet 2. And then, of course, if the question is answered correctly, you gain those points. If you answer it incorrectly, you lose those points. It's a normal betting round. So yeah, 10 questions, so there'd be a chance for a 40-point swing. If one team bets 2 points on every question and gets them right, they would gain 20 points. If the other team bets 2 points on everyone and loses, or gets every question wrong, they would lose 20 points. So 40-point swing right there. So that could very well seal the game for you. Now, again, this is going to be a little bit different in singles because we're only doing 5 questions. Really, the only thing that will change is you're not going to be able to skip questions. Those 5 questions, those 5 categories you're answering. Whereas with teams, you'll have 10. You only have to answer 5, so you can pick and choose. Yeah, that's the only difference between singles and teams on there. And then round number 5 will be the same as round number 3 in non-championship matches. So this will be the pick 3 numbers 1 through 15, all that fun stuff. So that's basically all I had. I just want to kind of explain the way championship matches will work. That being said, whenever we are in a green room for a championship match or a number 1 contender match, I'll break down the rules to all the rounds, and then during the videos, I'll explain it just like I do with normal matches. I always explain the round, and then I ask if you have any questions. With teams, what I'll do is just like in round number 1, kind of sort of, I'll go, hey, your question number 1 in the betting round is going to be in the category of horror thrill, for instance. And that's where Steven and Breeze will take a second to decide who is going to answer that. That's when they're going to talk about betting. And then I'll go to the second team, who's going to be, take some time, say who's going to be answering that question. Okay, Bruce is going to answer it for BS Bros. Player 2 is going to answer it for other team. And then we'll, that's when I'll say, take a couple seconds, write down what you're going to bet. We'll reveal our bets before I read off the question. I will make a note on how many points are being bet, and then I'll ask the question. That's going to be how that round is going to go. But yeah, that's everything I have. I don't think I had anything else that I needed to talk about. There haven't been any questions. There have been a lot of incorrect answers on Malcolm's part, but Malcolm, you got the first one correct, so congratulations. I think. Yeah, whenever I was testing it, they got that question right too. So that was a pretty good question, I think. But yeah, so we will be seeing here relatively soon, maybe in like 2-3 weeks, because that's about how long they take. The BS Bros taking on another team, a secret team that I will reveal at that time of the recording, and then the winner of that will take on the Detonators in a championship match. Very exciting. And then of course our singles league, we are in that tournament right now. The championship match of the tournament will be a number 1 contenders match, so that'll be a 5-round match as well. And then of course the winners will take on Ryan Payne. Jesus Christ, how did I forget his name? Malcolm, is it 21%? No, it's 100%. Everything's been booked. See what I did there? I will neither confirm nor deny if the team named 21% is in this number 1 contenders match. I will just say, no, I'm not going to say anything. But with that, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the comments. I'm going to end this, so I'm not going to get to them. But if it's something pertinent, I will message you. If you have any questions, message me. Something else I was going to mention. I'm looking for co-hosts. If you ever just want to banter with me in a match, send me a message. Be like, hey, Papa West, I would love to co-host something with you. I'll have a list of people who are co-hosting. The match we did today, Jake Tato and Ryan Permison, we had a co-host. And hey, you can't do any worse than that co-host. It was Henry. Henry's decent. Yeah, I know. I forgot Ryan Payne's name. He's a pain in my ass. How can I forget him? Malcolm, I do see that. I will get you down as a co-host. We will banter. I'm excited for it. I'm always excited for what will come in the near future. But yeah, message me if you ever want to co-host. I'll have a list. I'll try to message you. But I think that's everything, because I forgot that. Anyways, I have a date tonight with this, a little Darth Vader bust that I bought at Walmart that I'm going to put together. and hang on my nightstand as a little trophy that of something. I love Star Wars, that's why I got it, and I think it looks really cool. Or it will look really cool. But anyways, thanks for watching this. I hope I blew your mind. Um, and be on the lookout. I will be dropping that match, me versus Richie Goodacre. Be sure to watch it. It's interesting, to say the least. But anyways, have a good one. Make good choices. Stay safe. Or don't. I'm not your dad, but I could be your